Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, December 12th. Another Arctic air mass is moving into the I-95 corridor this morning. The arrival of this new Arctic air mass is causing some snow shower activity in and around the Philadelphia metro region. It's so cold that any kind of snow that falls will stick quickly and cause some slick conditions on the roadways. These snow showers will not last much longer, perhaps an hour or two, and it'll remain partly sunny for much of the day. The winds will pick up out of the northwest, and temperatures will remain at cold levels for this time of the year, holding nearly steady this afternoon in the mid to upper 20s where they are right now in many mid-Atlantic locations. Wind chills will be even lower later on today as those winds pick up. And by tonight, perhaps the coldest night of the year, temperatures will drop in many I-95 locations down into the low to middle teens, and single digits are possible in some of the normally coldest suburban locations of the big cities by tomorrow morning. Well, here's the latest radar loop from the Penn State EWAL site. See this batch of snow showers that move through the Philly metro region, especially the suburbs to the north of Philadelphia earlier this morning. They're dissipating right now. There can be another flurry or two later on today. Partly sunny skies, and the breeze will pick up out of the northwest as a fresh influx of Arctic air moves into the I-95 corridor of D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. And again, temperatures tonight could turn out to be the coldest low temperatures we've seen all season, with upper single digits possible in some of the normally coldest suburban locations north and west of the big cities by tomorrow morning. Well, here's the current surface map, and basically high pressure dominates the eastern third of the nation here. Another Arctic air mass, kind of a reinforcing shot of cold Arctic air moving in right now along the I-95 corridor, again with scattered clouds and some snow shower activity. Winds will gradually increase over the next few hours out of the northwest. Wind chills will drop, and temperatures tonight will drop way down into the low to middle teens in many suburban locations, perhaps even the upper single digits by early tomorrow. There is moisture gathering out here in the lower part of the southern U.S., and all that will head our way for Saturday. Looks like it'll be cold enough for snow and accumulating snow in the I-95 corridor on Saturday during the day. That all could change to a wintry mix by Saturday night. We'll talk a little bit more in a few minutes about potential accumulation amounts on Saturday. Well, here's the current visible satellite imagery analysis from the Penn State EWAL site. Lots of these thick clouds right in this region right here from D.C. across the Philadelphia suburbs right now. Again, this is associated with the influx of fresh Arctic air and some scattered snow showers out here. That will move off to the south and east. Winds are picking up out of the west and northwest. You can kind of see this typical pattern here in the south central part of Pennsylvania, with the airflow going up and down ridges, and the clouds tend to follow that kind of an airflow pattern up and down the ridges here with bands of clouds. And this is typical of a west to northwest flow of air across Pennsylvania. And again, those winds will be noticeable in the I-95 corridor come mid to late morning hours and throughout the afternoon hours, causing even lower wind chill values than the actual air temperature. Well, let's focus on the upcoming weekend event. This is looking at last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for Friday evening forecast. Then we'll step in 12-hour increments of Saturday morning, Saturday evening, and Sunday morning. And then we'll end up with a look at the last night's Canadian model run, the CMC model run for this upcoming weekend. Well, by Friday evening, see the cold air is pretty well established here in the mid-Atlantic region, and the moisture is now getting itself organized over the south central part of the U.S. More Arctic high pressure here in south central Canada that will follow this weekend system will remain on the cold side behind the system for the early part of next week. Let's now jump ahead to Saturday morning. By Saturday morning, the moisture is on the doorstep of the I-95 corridor. It's still pretty cold all the way down to the D.C. region. Again, it looks like it'll be certainly cold enough north of the Mason-Dixon line, the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, for snow during the day on Saturday. And most likely in the D.C. region, it'll start off as a period of snow as well. Not all that major of a precip producer here in the Ohio Valley come Saturday morning, according to last night's GFS model run. And now let's jump ahead 12 hours to the Saturday evening forecast map. Well, here it is by Saturday evening. Notice this last blue line has advanced to the north. Again, it looks like primarily snow in Philadelphia and points north and east during the day on Saturday. By Saturday evening, it certainly could become a wintry mix in and around Philadelphia, the western suburbs, and certainly by D.C. They'll start off as snow, but fairly quickly could change to a wintry mix, followed by some rain or freezing rain Saturday night. For the most part, a snow event in the New York City region. Let's now jump ahead to Sunday morning. By Sunday morning, low pressure actually intensifies off the northeast U.S. coast. The precipitation is starting to wind down here in the I-95 corridor. It should be pretty much over with by Sunday morning in D.C., just about over with, if not already done, in the Philadelphia region, and winding down in the New York City region. And that will be followed by another very cold air mass for the early part of next week. Well, let's walk through last night's Canadian model run, which depicts the precipitation type by color. The blue areas are snow, and the pinks and reds are mixed precipitation, sleet, freezing rain, etc. And then the green represents where the rainfall will be. This is early Saturday morning. We'll step through this particular model run on an hourly basis. And here we go, the precipitation just about arriving in the D.C. region by this time, or in the morning hours on Saturday. It looks like snow for a while, especially to the north and west of the district. Let's continue on. Now we're moving into the early afternoon. Snow fairly hard coming down across the Pennsylvania-Maryland border and points to the north, perhaps even in northern Maryland, some decent precipitation already starting to mix in the district region. Let's now step through this continuation. Snow coming down hard here Saturday afternoon, according to last night's Canadian model run in the Pennsylvania area. Again, north of the Mason-Dixon line, looks like primarily snow during the day on Saturday. The heavier snow now moving into the New York City region, and in fact, the model does depict some heavy snow here in south central Pennsylvania, extreme northern Maryland, into southeastern part of Pennsylvania for a while. Right there by Saturday early evening, decent precipitation coming down in the form of snow in southeastern Pennsylvania, a mixed bag in D.C., pretty much, again, from the Mason-Dixon line on north and east, mainly in the form of snow. And finally, that tends to wind down. Maybe some rain at the end of this in Philadelphia, and it points towards the shore by very late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and finally starting to wind down here, perhaps as a wintry mix in the New York City metro region. So right now, preliminary estimates, and this is still a couple of days away, I believe something like 1 to 2, perhaps 1 to 3 inches in and around the D.C. metro region, with the higher amounts to the north and west of the district. Probably 2 to 4 inch range in the Philadelphia metro region, again with higher amounts in the northern and western suburbs, lesser this time in Philadelphia and at the shore, and perhaps 3 to 5 inches in and around the New York City metro region. This is preliminary estimates: 1 to 2, 1 to 3 in D.C., 2 to 4 or so in Philadelphia, and 3 to 5 or so in New York City, Saturday into Saturday night. All of it getting out of here on Sunday. Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned to the SIweather.com for updates later today and later this